The storm had come out of nowhere, the kind that drenches a person to the bone within seconds. Daniel Harper was rushing from the grocery store to his car, bags hanging heavy from both arms, his 8-year-old son Leo tucked under one arm like a football. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of small moments to change lives, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness True Stories. Also, tell us in the comments where in the world are you watching from. He was already late for dinner, already tired from a 12-hour shift at the warehouse, already counting down the minutes until Leo was in bed, and the house was finally quiet. That was when he saw her, at the far edge of the parking lot. Partially hidden beneath the overhang of a closed pharmacy, sat a young girl in a wheelchair. She looked no older than 12, her thin frame hunched against the cold, her dark hair plastered against her face from the rain that was blowing sideways under the overhang. She had no jacket, no bag, no one standing beside her, just a small, soaked child alone in a wheelchair as the world rushed past her. Daniel stood still for a moment, his grocery bags dripping. Every tired cell in his body told him to keep walking. He had his own child to worry about, his own dinner to cook, his own battles to fight. But Leo tugged on his sleeve and said, with the innocent certainty only a child can muster, "Daddy, why is she sitting alone in the rain?" And just like that, Daniel walked over. He crouched down to her level, water soaking through the knees of his jeans, and offered what he hoped was a reassuring smile. "Hey there," he said softly. "Are you okay? Are you waiting for someone?" The girl looked up slowly, as if she had forgotten that people could speak directly to her. Her eyes were dark brown and exhausted, rimmed red either from crying or from cold, or maybe both. She shook her head slightly. "My ride didn't come," she whispered. "I've been here for 2 hours." Daniel felt something tighten in his chest. He looked around the empty parking lot at the sheets of rain, at the darkening sky, and made a decision. He loaded his groceries into his car, strapped Leo into his booster seat, and came back with an umbrella. "We're not leaving you here," he said simply. "Do you have a number I can call? A parent, a guardian, anyone?" The girl hesitated before answering. Her name was Maya, she told him. She lived at a group home about 4 miles away. She had come to the pharmacy for a prescription pickup. The staff member who drove her had gotten an emergency call and said someone else would come, but no one did. She had a phone, but it had died. She had been too afraid to ask anyone for help because, she said quietly, staring at her hands, people usually just walk past. Those words hit Daniel somewhere deep. He called the group home, got no answer, left a message, then called information for the county social services line. While he waited on hold, he gave Maya his jacket and Leo, bless his generous little heart, handed her his fruit snacks from his backpack. Maya laughed for the first time, a small surprise sound, like she had almost forgotten how. They waited together under the umbrella. Daniel finally got through to a supervisor at the group home, who was mortified and apologetic and promised someone was on the way. But while they waited, Daniel started gently asking Maya about herself. She answered in small pieces at first, then more openly. She was 13. She had been in the group home system for 3 years. She loved drawing and wanted to be a graphic artist someday. She drew little characters in the margins of her school notebooks and filled sketchbooks when she could find them. She said this almost apologetically, as if the dream were too big for someone in her situation to be allowed. Daniel listened to all of it, and then Maya said something that stopped him completely. She said that the reason she had been abandoned at the pharmacy that afternoon was because the staff member had gotten a call about a family who was interested in fostering a child from the home. Maya had overheard the call. The family had asked specifically about younger children. She said it with no bitterness, just a flat, practiced acceptance that broke Daniel's heart wide open. He sat with that truth for a long moment. Then he looked at Leo, who had fallen asleep in the car. Then he looked at Maya, sketchbook dreams and fruit snack smiles and all. He didn't say anything dramatic. He didn't make promises he wasn't sure he could keep. But he asked for the number of her social worker. 3 months later, after interviews and home studies and paperwork that seemed never-ending, Maya moved into the spare room of Daniel's small house. She painted it yellow, her favorite color. Leo called her his sister from the first week. Daniel framed her first drawing and hung it in the kitchen, where everyone could see it. Sometimes the right moment finds you in a parking lot in the rain. When you are tired and late and carrying too much, all you have to do is stop and look. If this story touched your heart, please show your love by liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel. Kindness, true stories. Your support helps us bring more beautiful stories like this one to the world.